Where is... Oh, there we go. Oh, it's going to be a delay. Yikes. There's going to be a delay. Oh, brother. So then I can't watch myself. That's the only thing I don't like is that there becomes like this delay. And
any way to fix it?
I don't think so. Moderation help everybody. I ain't got no moderators. You could definitely close that. So is this like it's live? Oh wow! They don't even give you no space or nothing. Like no warning, nothing. That's just crazy. Make sure all of my sound effects. It's been a minute since I've done this. It's been a while.
Bruh. No, it's a while.
Why? Why?
When was the last time I streamed? I think I haven't done a live stream since 2020.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Everything has been since then. So from 2016, 17 to 2020, I did nothing but live streams and like video podcasts. And then I think from 2020, I started doing like guest appearances on other people's podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
And then I kind of just stopped podcasting altogether because I was on Clubhouse. And so Clubhouse kind of like supplemented my podcast, urge. Because it was like basically an all-day podcast type shit.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't curse on YouTube. Damn.
Yeah, I gotta watch myself too.
I be forgetting. I gotta give it a name. Can I give it a name while I'm doing this? Oh, I can, but it's too much of a. How do you change the bitrate? See, this is stuff that I don't know about YouTube because YouTube is brand new to me. I'm used to Facebook and Instagram, and that's it. So YouTube is a new frontier.
Well, let's figure this out then.
Your current stream's bitrate is 2,458.
Lower than the record.
Lower than what you call it. Use a stream bitrate of 68 kps. Now, how the hell do I do that? And who's responsible? See, this is why I'm doing this. This is exactly why I'm doing this particular live because one, I want to, introduce myself to the YouTube world, and two.
Oh, let me take over.
Not you trying to do stuff.
Of course. Trying to look for the bitrate shit and all that.
Oh, you just missed it. It's up there.
It is where? What was the number?
68. That's not the right one. That's audio bitrate.
Video
is right above it.
68. I can see.
Can you?
I do have an appointment with the eye doctor in the next 2 weeks, so I might. What, 6,800 and shit?
Yeah.
68,000.
Yeah, 00. And then pick up. Wait, recordings cannot be put. Oh, I don't have no recording on it yet, so you could definitely. Yeah, you could definitely just hit apply.
Apply car.
And then let's see. Go to OK. And then let's click back to.
Here.
Okay, so now we back to good. All right. Wait, hover over good. Let me see. The stream's current bitrate is lower. We just put it at 6,800. See, I don't know how they do this stuff. Like, I'm pretty sure people's first streams go a little easier than this. We just set it at that.
Wait.
What do you mean? Oh, it's at 70. See, it's at 70 something. Oh, but it's fluctuating. So they
Drop frames.
Oh, it's 0. Damn, it's using up all my little CPU. I gotta get a new see, I don't got money for a new laptop, bro. I just started. Come on. Bear with me a little bit, please. But yeah, all right. So enough pre-game. Stay up. Enough pre-gaming. But hello. Yo, and hello, it is me, JTNYC. It's a little different. I used to be, just call me T Marie. I've gone through so many iterations on this show. I'm not even, this is a brand new show, so I can't even.
Evolution, that's all it is.
I can't even call it the show, but I've been through so many evolutions of my, I guess, online persona. But again, speaking about Clubhouse, it kind of got me to where I am now with my streaming style, with how I talk. Actually, I probably should download Clubhouse back on my phone. Just because I'm streaming, I might want to, phone a friend on the app, see what they got going on. But yes, welcome to my YouTube. Pew, 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 pew. Yes, this is the first of many. I'm going to try to go live. I want to say Sundays and Wednesdays. Those are the days that I've decided. Because one, your girl is in school. I got things to do, homework, and all of them things. And then two, people got jobs. Like, I can't be holding you up because you got stuff to do. I think being on YouTube is really going to help me not curse as much because there are, like, rules. Because I've been studying. So the past couple of years, I've been chronically online trying to study and figure out, like, what makes streamers, like, popular, what works, what don't work, or doesn't work. Let me speak proper English. Was really tapped into, like, all of that red pill stuff, but that done died. So, it's over for that. Because that was, like, my main thing on the chatty app was, arguing with red pill people all day about what women should or shouldn't do. But that's dead now. So now we got new things to talk about. So there's going to be a little bit of news stuff because I do need to, be in tune with the news. It's kind of embarrassing every time people be talking about current events and I be like, what happened? But the news just be too depressing. I don't got time to be watching the news, low-key, because it's like, it's never good news. Well, I take that back. It's not never good news, but it's very rare that it ever is any good news. And then on top of that, I found a website that's kind of...
objective?
Yeah. So it's this, I don't know how new it is, but it's this thing called Ground News, where it separates news articles by left, right, and center. So depending on what kind of outlook you're looking for, it'll tell you the article that you should be reading. So it's like this one-stop shop where you can, like for instance, the latest news headline that I saw was people are starting to buy Bibles now, which is...
What, Trump Bibles?
No, just regular Bibles. Like, people are turning to Christianity because of Trump being reelected, because of, the wars and stuff going on, because of, just how everybody is living. So people are looking...
Sure, I don't even think that's a good idea, if I'm being honest. But continue.
Oh, wait, why you don't think it's a good idea?
Because that's like the biggest propaganda tool right there.
You think the Bible is a propaganda?
Yes, absolutely.
No. The Bible itself. Not the people... But the Bible itself, you think is a problem?
The teachings and the faith of that's in the Bible is not a propaganda tool. It's just a messenger, basically.
But that's why I'm saying I think it's kind of interesting that people they're not going to church in record numbers. They're buying Bibles. So they're starting their own journeys, like...
Oh, personal spiritual journey.
Right.
Okay, I'm for that.
And I think that's pretty interesting because, in a time where everybody wants to be so conservative and they just want to be so God-fearing, and what about the children, and
hypocrites.
all of this stuff. Right, and it's like, it's very interesting to see that, a lot of, Gen Z and Gen Alpha, they're buying, they said compared to last year, it's like a 60-something% increase of Bible sales.
I'm kind of afraid of that. I'm kind of afraid for Gen Z and Alpha.
I don't know if I'm afraid for them. I think Gen Z and Gen Alpha, think about millennials. Like, millennials have enough information that we were able to make different decisions than, like, say, our parents and, our grandparents. Mm-hmm. I think Gen Z and Gen Alpha is that times 10. Because not only do they have the information, but they also have the example of millennials that's actually doing it.
The problem with Gen Zers and Alpha is also they're deep into social media, so they're easily corrupted and shit. You know about these podcast bros and all that.
Oh no, that's a fact.
Yeah, so.
But that's only a certain subsect of them. So that's another thing, right? So like a part of being chronically online, because that's essentially what it is. So for the last 4 years, I've been chronically online, and I noticed that although they are very heavily on social media, they find the pockets that they want to be in. If there's a pocket of the internet that they don't agree with or they don't want to be in, they're just not going to participate. Like, for instance, there's a whole sector of TikTok that they call 304 TikTok, which is basically sex workers, strippers, dominatrixes, prostitutes, escorts, you name it. They're all on 304 TikTok. And they're basically sharing tips, tricks. They're talking about their experiences. They're being honest. They're talking about the times that they've got robbed. They're talking about the times that, they've had issues with pimps or men trying to pimp them. Or they've talked about the times that it was scary that they almost got trapped. That they're being eerily transparent over there. To where it's like, if you're a Gen Z or a Gen Alpha and you think that that's the lane you want to go in, you can't claim willful ignorance. Like, you kind of have to, have all of your wits about you because they are so transparent about all of those things. Mm-hmm. So it's really one of those things where it's like, you can't not know anymore. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I don't really worry for the next few generations. But I don't even know, how old are they? Like, matter of fact, do me a favor. Can you look up
Gen Z's after 2000, and then
how old are they? Like the age ranges.
From 2000, let's see.
Yeah. Because I definitely would love to, generations by age. And in the meantime, while you're doing that, again...
Boom, there we go. Gen Z's from 1997 to 2012.
But how old would that make them?
So, I got a cousin who born 2004. He's 20 years old right now. And he has...
2004?
Yeah. So, he's Gen Z. And then he has a younger sister that's 2009, Gen Z as well.
I don't think I know any Gen Alphas born 2023.
Oh, my quote-unquote nieces and nephews are Gen Alphas. Poor kids. They're about to...
I don't know. I really don't know if they have it that difficult. Because, let me see. Because I feel like they... Shit, and now that they got ChatGPT, they really can't say that they don't know much of anything. Because anything you need to know, you can literally look it up.
And look who's about to run the country, too.
Yeah, so Gen Z is 12 to 27. Millennials are 28 to 43. Gen X is 44 to 59.
Oh, shit, my uncle's a Gen X.
And then Boomer. Oh, there's two sets of Boomers. So Boomer 2 is 60 to 69. So my mom is a Boomer, too. My mom and all of my uncles except for one. Because I feel like, I have, all of my aunts and uncles are Boomers. And then my youngest uncle is a Gen X. And I can even tell the difference between them two. But yeah, I just really don't see Gen Z or Gen Alpha struggling with much of anything because they have everything at their fingertips. Like, if they want to become doctors, they can start now. If they want to become lawyers, engineers, scientists, they can literally start now. Like, they have all the tools available to them to start now. If they want to get into content creation, they can start now. Now, what in the world is going on with this? What do you mean? It's not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. How are you not? That don't make no sense.
What type of process? What's the processing power on this?
I don't know. Don't ask me no stupid question like that.
Let me be the technical guy real quick.
I don't know what that is. But again, these are all things that I may need to know.
I was about to say that, but you said it before me. Let's go.
I don't fucking know.
Let's go to system config and all that shit.
I mean, honestly, you could have just went to my PC.
Fair. Oh, this ain't it.
Yeah, just right click my PC. But no, I mean, I feel like this show is gonna be a little bit of everything. Oh, so I came up with a name. Tell me what you think about it.
Guan. That was my face. That was my white Jamaican accent right there. Like, oh, I5. That's not bad at all. All right, throw your names. Yeah, I5 is good. Yeah, you got. Yeah, your PC should be good.
I don't know what it is, but it is what it is. But no, I mean, so I have these hats that I've designed. They're limited edition. I only have about 4 or 5 of them. And they say extraordinary on it, but they have extra written in black and ordinary written in white.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was looking at it and I was like, why not just call it the Extraordinary Show?
Yeah.
I like it. So that's what I'm going to call the stream, is the Extraordinary Show. And it's just literally just because, one, I'm tired of the things that I've been seeing on certain streams. And 2, I'm not about to be doing none of that. Like, I'm not about to be yelling and jumping up and down. I'm not about to be all extra.
Or be DJ Academics and shit.
I'm not about to be none of that. Like, first of all, I'm a 30-something millennial. I'm an elder millennial, if you will. Let me start there. I don't got the time nor the energy to be doing all of that. Like, granted, like, I've watched, what is it, Kai Cenat and him, Kevin Hart, and Drewski.
Yeah.
That is a level of streaming that I do not wish to reach.
That's like 3 different generations there.
But they're all animated individuals. Kevin Hart is a very animated, energetic individual. Drewski, we all know he's a fool.
Yeah, he's fucking annoying.
Kai just be doing what he be doing, so, he just gonna blend in and do what he does. But it's just like, I don't really necessarily see too many 30-something streamers, that's number one, that aren't white, that aren't men, and that aren't like either super gamers or super political or super like red pill. Like, those are the only types of streamers that I usually see. Like, there's one girl who I follow, well, not girl, she's a grown-ass woman, but there's one woman who I follow, her name is Tanya TKO, but she kind of does dabble in the relationship stuff, because, like, she'll take viral moments or viral topics about stuff, and then we'll turn them into hour-long streams. One person who I used to like was Brittany Venti, but I don't know what happened to her. I think she's either giving up on YouTube, or maybe she got a man and got pregnant. I don't know. But she hasn't been on.
Yeah, she's married. Yeah.
Is she really?
Yeah, I think she is married because when she got that pearl, I think she mentioned that.
Oh, okay. So then, yeah. So she's somewhere being somebody's wife, so she don't be on no more. And then I told you about that lady that I watched, Tree, but Tree is she's an interesting individual.
You also got Candace Owens, who gets banned from other European countries, but I digress.
And you want to know something? At one point, I was rocking with her, but then I saw something that she posted recently that kind of pissed me off. Damn, what was that video?
Told you. I just want to say that. Told you.
But it pissed me off for the reason that you think. It pissed me off because I felt like it was very disingenuous. I feel like Candace was doing... It was like she took... Dang, what was it? I don't remember what it was. It was something that she was doing. And if she was watching... Oh, she was talking about... What was it? It was a video about something, and she kept saying, "Oh, this is super homosexual. This is a homosexuality. Something. Dang, what was the video? I'm about to say. Let me see. Is it on my Instagram? It was something that she was talking. Oh, I don't remember my login. I can't find it. But yeah, it was something she was talking about.
Some white supremacist nonsense, probably.
No, it wasn't even that. That's why I really want to find it because it was so interesting. How the heck did he find me?
Oh.
Shout out to you, Ryan, for doing your investigative duty. One of my classmates.
So
I told him that I was going live tonight because we were supposed to go to another networking event. The same one that we went to with the food. Like the food, like at the table.
Isn't there an event tomorrow?
No, it was today.
Oh, it's today. Yeah. I was trying to figure that out. Like, why is this on my calendar? And then
yeah. So they had another one today, and so I told them I can't go because I'm streaming. And so he was like, "Oh, all right, bet." So he ended up subscribing. So shout out to my first subscriber, Ryan. I appreciate you so much. You're amazing. And he done found my Instagram. And I'm like, that's a little scary, but I gotta get used to that, I guess. Because, I mean, everything is the same name. So, yes, Instagram, and I believe my TikTok, yes, all of it is JTNYC, of course.
Of course.
But, yeah. What was I talking about? But, yeah, it was something that Candace was saying, and I just was like, now you dragging it. Because now you're trying to make it this narrative that's so unnecessary. And I don't remember what the video was, but I know it was something to do with... Was it? I'm going to have to find it for the next live. I'm going to have to find it.
If it has to do with gay people, it's probably some white supremacist bullshit.
It wasn't gay people. It was something where I was just like, you're painting a narrative. Because there's no reason for you to be talking about homosexuality because this has nothing... Oh! It was Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande, their press tour. So basically, because every clip that has gone viral with the two of them, they're always crying. And she just couldn't understand why these two women just keep crying. And she's like, yeah, and then they're holding hands, and then they're always crying.
But she's crying like about them crying.
And so she's like, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they hooked up during the filming. It just seems like there's some kind of lesbianism going on here, and it's just very homosexual. And I said, now how interesting is this that Candace is so deep in her masculine bag, because you know they call her husband gay, allegedly. She's so deep in her masculine bag, you can't understand two women being emotional. Because granted,
she ain't got friends.
That too, and there's definitely something to be said about women who ain't got no friends. But we gonna talk about that later. But it was just really interesting to me that she could be so hard. Like her criticism of them crying, because it didn't make no sense. Like don't get it wrong, it doesn't make any sense. Why are y'all crying so much? Because Ariana was saying like, yeah, we had our own private cry earlier today. and then we cried at some other interview, and oh my gosh, you guys are gonna make us cry now. And I don't get what they could be crying about, but women are emotional. Women are gonna cry. Like, we get overwhelmed, and that project is something that a lot of theater kids love them some Wicked. Like, I remember being in the theater program back in high school, and a lot of the kids were like actual theater kids, and they couldn't imagine how I've never heard the score to Wicked. And then I remember going to see Wicked and loving the show. And then I also remember going to see The Color Purple and watching Cynthia Erivo perform. And she is hella talented. Like, voice of the God. Like, she is beyond talented musically. Like, it makes absolutely no sense why she's not a recording artist. She literally just wants to act and sing. And so I can understand, because I've been in love with her since that performance. I've seen just about everything that she's been in, even when they had her playing Harriet Tubman and had her singing for no reason. But it's because she could sing. So it's like, of course Harriet Tubman is going to break out in song in the middle of nowhere for no reason, because Cynthia Erivo has the pipes to do it.
And plus, Negro spirituals exist.
That is also a thing. But it's just the idea of Candace was just going on this whole rant about how they're just so homosexual and this is the lesbian agenda and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, is this what conservatives like to listen to? Like, is this what this is the type of content they like to consume? Because that's strange.
Yeah, but it's like I said, she's a white supremacist. And plus, conservatives are adjacent to white supremacy, so it fits.
But everything is not homosexuality.
Yeah, and plus she panders to, not only she panders to white people, she also panders to black people who are hyper conservative to homosexuality and stuff like that.
Okay.
So they're gonna be like, oh, see, she right about that. She making sense. We're not realizing how much of a grifter she is.
But see, all right. See, now this is what I need to understand. Like, can you? What is conservatism? Because I need to understand this, like, at the base level. So can you Google the definition of conservatism? Because I hear people use that word all the time, and to me, it never registers to what it's supposed to mean. Because they like to lump conservatism, traditionalism, and Republican all in one group. Like, they're supposed to all be the same person.
Yeah, literally. Commitment to traditional values and ideas with opposition to change or innovation. That's Republican. The holding of political views that favor free enterprise, private ownership, and socially traditional ideas. Okay. Republican. Yeah.
All right. But see, this is where I have...
But there's a difference between black conservatism and white conservatism. White conservatism, obviously, they're racist, basically.
Okay. Commitment to traditional values and ideas with opposition to change or innovation. Do you not know about adapt or die?
Of course.
How do conservatives manage to keep this ideology when adapt or die is a law of nature?
They're idiots. They don't believe. They don't believe in evolution. So laws of nature kind of ties into that. So like,
because what do you mean opposition to change or innovation? So you want to be Amish?
Basically, yeah.
So you want to be Amish? Like, you just want to be Amish? You want to churn your own butter, travel by horse and buggy, not use electricity? Like, you want to be Amish? Liberalism is the willingness to respect or accept behavior or opinions different from one's own. Openness to new ideas. So they make being liberal a bad thing?
it is a bad thing in a sense. Well, liberalism here in America is a bad thing because it basically liberals serve the agenda. Basically, that's why it's a negative thing.
Agenda.
Capitalism. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what conservatives believe in too. So that's why it's not necessarily a good thing to be a liberal. If that makes any sense.
All right, wait, no, say it slow. Talk to me like I'm a GED recipient.
There's some smart GED recipients out there, though.
I'm sure
what you need?
I'm sure there are some smart GED recipients, but we know who we talking about here.
All right, what do you want to know, like, specifically about liberalism?
What is the agenda that liberalism is feeding?
Okay, when it comes to America, they pretend that they care about, like, in this definition, it's saying willingness to respect, accept behavior or opinions different from one's own, openness to new ideas. And of course, the other definition is a political, social philosophy that promotes individual rights, civil liberties, democracy, and free enterprise. The flaw in liberalism is they don't care about that shit. They care about capitalism, basically. I'm speaking about liberalism in America, basically. Where liberalism and conservatism they converge is basically capitalism. This would be neoliberalism, basically. For example, Bill Clinton, liberal. Neoliberal. Obama, liberal.
But I would say in certain instances, I would feel like okay, what's progressive? Before I even label myself, what is progressive?
Progressive would be like what? Bernie Sanders, AOC?
Google it. Because I want to be specific. That's another thing. I want to be very fact-based. I want to use the words in the manner in which they were meant to be used. Because I do feel like that's a problem a lot when it comes to content creators. People love to use words in because they know the context in which the word is used, but they don't know the definition of the word. So I want to be very specific. Progressivism is a left-leaning political philosophy and reform movement that seeks to advance the human condition through social reform, primarily based on purported advancements in social organization, science, and technology. That doesn't tell me anything. Can you scroll? Oh, wait, hold on. The three biggest differences between conservatives and progressives. Conservatives and progressives have different views about individuals and communities.
Oh, perfect. I got a perfect idea. Conservatives and liberals are pro-Israel. Progressives are anti-Israel.
Liberals are pro-Israel?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Are you sure?
Yes, liberals are definitely pro-Israel.
What?
Yeah.
I am.
Progressives are anti-Israel. Well, they pro-Palestine.
That's strange.
For example, like Destiny, he's pro-Israel, and he's a liberal.
But he's also white. I don't like to compare myself to white people.
Oh yeah, white liberals ain't shit though.
And this is no racism or nothing. It's not that. It's just they don't have the same lived experience. Like, I ain't even gonna hold you. There's some suburban blacks that I don't even want to hear from because you can't talk to me from behind your gated community. Like, you have no idea.
Oftentimes they could be liberal or
conservative.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I don't want to say that to say that I only want to talk to people in the hood or I only want to talk to impoverished people. But I do believe working class, upper middle class, and below, those are the only ones who know the true meaning of what's what when it comes to certain things. Because there are certain privileges that they've either had to finagle their way into or they've had to finesse their way around. And so I'm not trying to hear about what Destiny got to say about stuff. I like watching his content, don't get me wrong, but I'm not trying to hear shit about what he got going on. No disrespect. But I will say I find that very strange, and I'm very confused.
About what?
Because all of these labels are just like there's no one right way to be. Like, granted, yes, I'm all for. What was the first definition?
Oh, let's look at the differences of these right here.
I'm all for the new ideas. I'm all for innovation. I'm all for all of that. But I don't think that that's the only way to do things. Like, what is it called when you want to be contemporary? When you want to be somewhat traditional, but you also want to be able to accept and integrate new information as it comes to you.
You're conservative and progressive, or liberal and progressive.
That's the thing.
Yeah, I think it's on a spectrum. I think it's all on the spectrum because when I was looking it up, there was different terms and stuff like that.
So they said that they have different views about individuals and communities. So the traditional American ethic of achievement gives way to the progressive ethic of, I don't even know what this is.
Aggrievement.
Agreement? What that mean? To oppress or wrong grievously, injure by injustice. Oh wow. Agreement is a noun that means the state of being aggrieved or the quality of being aggrieved. It can mean suffering from the denial or infringement of legal rights. Okay.
The traditional ethic of achievement gives way to the progressive.
The progressive ethic of agreement. I don't even know what that's supposed to mean.
It basically means conservatives want to keep the wheel of
people down.
Keep the wheel of oppression going, basically, yeah.
As opposed to a variety of individuals making up one American community, progressives seek to place individuals in a variety of competing communities. The first creates... That's absolutely bullshit.
What?
The first creates unity, the second identity politics. So basically they're trying to say that conservatives are creating unity. However, it's unity under we're going to be on top and you're going to be on the bottom. We're all Americans, but some Americans are better than other Americans.
Yeah.
That's not unity though. And then saying the second is identity politics, I could kind of see that because that's the problem with the lickle ticket community and why they be doing all this stuff.
No, that's the problem with politicians love to play identity politics and stuff like that. It's not just that one group though.
Conservatives and progressives have different views about diversity and choice. Progressives, different ethnicities and gender identities are welcomed, but a variety of opinions and ideas are not. This sounds very biased. I'm not sure I like it.
Oh, Heritage Foundation, get the fuck out of here. Sorry for cursing.
Who is this?
The Heritage Foundation, Project 2025. Get up out of here.
That's who these up. Oh,
they're behind that. Yeah, let's get out of this page.
But you see what I mean? Like, it's something so innocent as a Google search, and look at how they're able to just weasel. Because that's the thing that I have an issue with.
Well,
the lack of critical thinking. The fact that people can't read something and be like, wait a minute, that doesn't sound right.
You know what it is? Social media has cooked people's brains. Social media and podcasting and all that. No, because people get the information so fast and people's attention spans are so small. They're gonna look at something on Twitter like, oh shit, that really happened. That's crazy. Without even fact check, without even having the critical thinking to fact check that to see if that's accurate or not.
But it's just not even. It's right there. The phone is right. You can highlight something in your phone and Google what it means right there. It's right there. For
example, I'll be watching Matt Hoffa's podcast and stuff like that. Don't ask me why. Like hood nigga shit, whatever.
I don't think you can say the N-word on YouTube.
Hood neighbor ish. Now turn the fan on.
I plugged it out because I needed to plug the Rodecaster in.
Hold on a second. Let me open this window real quick.
But no, that is hilarious.
What's going on here? What?
That's funny. But I mean, listen, I don't knock it, but yeah, okay. So you was watching Math Hoffa. Go ahead.
They ignorant as hell, but anyways, long story short, they was talking about the election and stuff like that, and then like there was when you was voting, they had like certain like propositions on the ballot. Mm-hmm. So they was arguing about Prop 1. It was talking about gender reaffirming care. So they misconstrued it as, oh, that means that kids are able to go get sex change operations in the hospital and stuff like that. And then there was literally one whole woman inside it. You know how like the setup is a barbershop and stuff like that, right? And then she was questioning it like, nah, there's no way that kids can just go into a hospital and get gender reaffirming care without the parent. She was like, yo, my kids don't do any medical procedures without me signing off on it, so it's hard for me to believe that. But they still ran with the narrative that no, that's actually happening. Until like a later episode where my son, the rapper, he basically saying like, nah, there's you reading that wrong. It's basically giving them the type of care that they need, but again, like you need parental consent to get any medical procedure done. They was like, oh, there was specific about that in the bill and stuff like that. And then they was running with the gay agenda narrative and stuff like that.
But
that's what I mean. Like it took like one other dude and then my son to tell him like, nah, you're bugging. Like you need like, and they was talking about like the idea of like if their kid is gay or if their kid decides to be trans or whatever, or like they feel like they're another gender. They was like, one dude was like, yo, that's when you have to be a parent and step up. Type of thing, but it's a touchy subject, but like
I don't know if touchy is the right word.
It's a sensitive topic because you can't tell a parent what to do with their kid, like
you can't, but you also can't let a kid make a decision like that. And I've always had a very unique point of view when it comes to something like that. I think that in the event, and granted, I do not have children, so this is just an opinion. This is not law. I'm not telling nobody what to do with their kid. I don't want to hear nothing from nobody. I promise you, I'm not arguing with nobody about this. Like, I'm dead ass. Like, this is what, like, there's very few things that I refuse to argue about, but this is one of them. I just feel like there's a way to explain to your kid that this is a feeling and to allow time to see if this feeling passes.
Yeah.
Because we can't make lasting decisions like puberty blockers and all of these other things based on a feeling.
No, but that's where the parent and the kid's doctor comes into play,
Now, granted, they have the kids who are like, oh, they're experiencing mental health because they feel like this and blah, blah, blah. I think those are special cases. There were kids who dressed emo for years, and then they get to college, and they never wear eyeliner ever again.
Yeah.
There are people who were into Hello Kitty, or who were into...
Or still into Hello Kitty.
whatever the hell. And they get to a certain age, and it's like a switch goes off, and they no longer give zero you-know-what's about it anymore.
Yeah.
So to me, I just feel like that's something that particular person, because a child is still a person, but they have to get a little older, or at the very least, inform them on everything. Don't just let them start doing things to their body without explaining, you're gonna change. You have a change. Like, there was such a drastic change from 21 to 25. And then another drastic change from 25 to, I want to say, when I was 28, 29, like knocking on 30. The change from 30 to 35 is not that drastic. It's just a fine tuning. But when I say like like literally, I was 21, partying, drinking, experimenting, dibbling and dabbling, doing all type of stuff. And then at one day at 25, I just woke up and was like, hey, yo. Like, what is going on? And it was just, I can't even explain how day and night the shift was. So I just can't imagine had I made a decision about my body at 10, 7, 11, 13, and then now I gotta deal with that for the rest of my life. Like, that's a little crazy. I mean, granted, they say some people know and they know, but look at how many people that have transitioned and then get on the internet crying, talking about how they regret it.
I mean, that's small cases, though.
Is it?
Yeah, very small.
Is it?
Remember, this is a small like trans people are a small ass population, so like the odds of people regretting it is probably smaller than that population.
It's smaller than that population, yes, but when you look at it per capita, it's a lot of them who either don't fully change or they change and they regret it. Like, there are a few. Like, I follow one on YouTube. Shout out T.S. Madison.
Oh, I heard about them.
Her. I follow T.S. Madison. But she still has her you know what. Yeah. And she has no feelings about getting rid of it. It's part of her brand. She says it all the time. I got titties at the top and then you know what at the bottom. And like, that's part of her brand. But she very much is giving woman, looks damn it just like her mother. Like, you can't look at her. Well, some people can, but in certain situations, you can't look at her and tell that she was not a biological woman. Like, in certain situations, there's just really like, it's crazy. But then you have the ones like what's the one that's running around with that dude from Empire?
From Empire. The show?
Yes. Sydney Starr. So Sydney Starr was a trans girl who got famous because she accused Chingy of being in a relationship with her and hiding it. And so, was it Chingy or Chameleonaire? I don't remember, but it was one of them.
Probably Chingy.
So she accused one of them, and that's how she kind of blew up. Then she ended up on Love and Hip Hop, making a fool out of herself every other episode. And then now she was seen with Eddie Winslow. I forgot what his real name is.
Oh, okay. Darius McCrae.
Yes.
McCrae, whatever. One of
so then the rumor was that Darius paid for Sydney to get her operation because they were together. Mm-hmm. And then the next thing you know is the very next post after that, now she's hanging out with the youngest son from Empire, talking about I'm sorry, Eddie, something. I mean, again, it's social media. It could all be, jokes. It could all be fake. It could all be clickbait. So I'm not putting too much stock into it. But I'm just saying that this is somebody who got famous for tricking men. Because that was another part of Sydney Starr's claim to fame. Mm-hmm. It's like, she would be outside talking to a bunch of dudes, like, camera, mic, all of that, would go up to a random bunch of black men, start talking to them, That now they want to touch on her butt, they want to do this, they want to do that, blah, 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 but they don't know that she's trans. And people were saying that that's a very dangerous game. Like, what happens if you get with somebody or you do that to somebody who they don't want to be seen as doing this? Because, men are lusty. Like, men are dumb. They're going to do things.
And also, some men got to keep their hands to themselves because they never know as well. Like,
that's another thing, too. So it's like, who do you blame in that situation? The trans person who's lying, or the thirsty ass man who don't know how to keep his you know what in his pants?
Both.
Think with his big head and not the little head.
I would say both.
But you can't say both in situations like that because that's not the way that the world works. The way that the world works is it's polarizing. Who is wronger? There's a dude who does content like that. Who is wronger?
I mean, it takes two to tango, though. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't know if that. There's a viral video right now of a pop the balloon where the girl tells the dude, "Oh, come here and give me a kiss," and he's like, "You come here." So the girl walks over to him, kisses him in the mouth in front of everybody. All the other girls pop their balloon because they're like, "Yeah, you too thirsty. I don't like my man too thirsty." And then the girl steps back and goes, "Oh, but I got something to tell you. I'm trans." Now, what if he would have hauled? Granted, the comments say that she's not trans and that it was just a clickbaity moment. But God forbid that man, there are cameras here. Thousands of, if not millions of people are going to see this clip. What if he would have hauled off and punched her in her face?
you know, it's also crazy too. There's a lot of women that don't realize it, but like transphobia can affect them too and shit. Excuse me for the cursing. Because there's some men who are obsessed about the idea of a trans person. They're going to think a biological woman is trans.
I mean, but that comes with certain territories. Like certain women who, look like they fathers, or certain women who overdo it with the makeup, overdo it with the, enhancements, overdo it with the plastic surgery. You tend to start to look like them. Like they started saying that,
Ciara's a man. Meg Thee Stallion's a man.
No. I think that was those are just internet rumors. I'm talking about like the Claremont twins. Have you seen what they look like recently?
Let's Google them real quick. Oops.
Listen.
But all in all, I think this whole panic is overblown, though.
Actually, that's a good picture. The before and after. Yeah, click the before and after. That is a trans look. The overdone lips.
Oh, Botox? I mean, this average white woman will look like this.
The overdone chiseling of your face. Like the fillers, the super nose job. That is a trans look. Nah, you was better off picking the Reddit picture. I don't know why you picked that one.
Oh, this one, I was trying to get to this one. There we go.
That's what they look like before on top, and that's what they look like now.
And I go all the way in Reddit. Damn.
That is a trans look. That face is a trans, and I don't mean no disrespect, but that is a trans face.
I mean, but also biological women do.
Biological women don't look like that.
No, I don't say they don't look like that, but I'm saying that.
Biological women do not look like that.
No, I know that. I'm saying like there's some women that would do like this type of cosmetic work on themselves like this. That's all. But yeah, the average woman doesn't look like this. You're right about that, of course.
Because that is not the that. So the thing that I've realized about that is that when it comes to that community, there was a thing called passable. And basically they wanted to be as close to women as possible. But then there was an era of bimbo, which you want to look super, like everything about you just says sex. But that look is only for a specific type of woman. Whether that be a sex worker, a stripper, a escort. That look is supposed to be only for people who are exchanging their body for resources.
I mean, they're in that. They're also in that. They exist in that space too.
They do, yes. But the regular, everyday girly
Yeah.
who is doing podcast. Well, no, because podcasting, you're not supposed to be you're not supposed to be selling your body for resources. You're supposed to be
You're just promoting it, like promoting
it, maybe.
promoting OF and stuff like that. Damn, I sound like a red pill dude.
No, not even promoting OF, but like you're supposed to get the eyes on you and then say, "Hey, I also have thoughts and ideas too."
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just saying, in the realm of there's an idea. Are you really on your phone right now?
Huh?
Are you addicted to your phone?
No, I just got a message. My bad.
Continue.
I'm a Gen Wire.
That is a pet. I don't know if it's a pet peeve, like, cause don't get me wrong, I be addicted to my phone too, but there's certain things that I'm not engaged in my phone in. Like, were you a kid that spent a lot of time in front of screens?
In front of screens. I mean, I got these. I'm wearing these glasses because of screens. Nah, but not all the time though.
Cause I forgot what I was about to say.
Bob, trends. Like you said, the bimbo look.
Yes. So the bimbo look is a thing, but I don't know exactly when the crossover happened. Like, when did the trans aesthetic end up getting co-opted by the strippers, and then the stripper aesthetic got co-opted by every other woman looking to seek male attention? I don't know when that transition.
Wait, repeat that again.
So, like, the bimbo look existed with white women, and it was usually Eastern European white women. I know that for a fact. It was usually Eastern European white women who had the over-injected lips, the stiff breast implants. They didn't have the BBL bodies. Black girls added that because black girls didn't want to run around with big titties and no hips and no butt. So they added the hips and the butt.
Okay.
But the idea that look got co-opted by the trans women to where all of the trans women of a certain era started looking like that. And then strippers saw that in the trans girls, and then they started looking like that. Because strippers didn't start looking like that until, I want to say, the 2000s, like
Probably before that.
2010s.
Probably before that, 90s at least.
Nah.
As far as implants goes.
Strippers,
And that look.
Strippers wasn't over-injecting their lips and doing BBLs in the 90s.
No, I mean 90s was just straight up implants. That's what I mean. That was specific to that time period.
Really?
Oh yeah, Pamela Anderson. And all the porn stars of that era, probably.
Yeah, but I guess that was just boobs though. I'm talking about the full look. Wig, eyelashes, nails, it's a whole look. When I'm talking about it, it's like a costume.
Oh, like RuPaul and.
But even RuPaul back in the day didn't look like that. RuPaul don't even look like that now. I'm talking about the idea of the wig, the lash, the nail, the makeup, the BBL. That whole look was a specific type of woman. And then it kind of trickled its way into everyday life to where now regular girls with regular jobs are sad because they don't look like that. I don't know how that happened. I'm really
I know it's heavy in like southern states like Miami and stuff like that.
You think so?
Oh yeah, like Dr. Miami is just out there. How do you think he got his whole notoriety from? Especially over the last 10, 20 years at least.
I think it might really just have to do with.
And plus, that was a scene where it was done, but sex workers, escorts, strippers, they were all in that same melting pot. So it makes total sense. It started from. That was one of the areas where it started from.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where I'm just like, how did we get here? And why is that the new standard?
The Kardashians. To be honest, yeah. I know a lot of black people can't stand the Kardashians, but yeah. They're probably... And Caitlyn Jenner.
You know, I don't necessarily have a problem. I don't necessarily have a problem with the Kardashians. I just don't like the obsession with them. Because I'm not a fan. I sound like what's his name? Star. I'm not a fan of nobody. Like a fan. I'm not a fan of anybody. But the way that people like fan out for the Kardashians is a little creepy to me.
Yeah, I mean, it's a celebrity obsession that the U.S. has. Like people here have.
Yeah, but it to call them celebrities is nuts because they don't sing, they don't dance, they don't sew, they don't do hair. They what is their talent other than people just want to be in their business?
That's true.
What is their talent other than they will sell every moment of their lives to be consumed by strangers?
That I don't have an answer to.
Because at least people obsessed with Beyonce, I get it. You want to be obsessed with Taylor Swift, I get it. You want to be... I
still don't. It's like...
It's certain people that if you want to be obsessed with them, I get it. But there's something about them where I'm just like, I don't get the obsession. I literally don't get the obsession. I tried watching Keeping Up with the Kardashians and I hated every second of it. I hated it. The episode I watched was the one where Kim loses her ring I think they were in the Maldives or they were somewhere. Where basically it's a hut and then it's like a little bridge and then there's nothing but water underneath them. And something happened and her ring fell off in the water. She's like, oh my God, my ring. That was a $20,000 blah, blah, blah carrot, blah, 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 blah. And then Courtney was like, Kim, shut the hell up. There are kids starving all over the world and you crying about, oh no, it wasn't a ring, it was earrings. And she was like, there are kids starving and you're crying about a pair of earrings. Like, girl, shut up. Like,
straight up.
So to me, it just is like, I don't get it. And I don't know, maybe if there's a Kardashian lover out there in the ether, explain to me why you love them. I'm progressive enough to hear you out and be open enough to changing my mind. I just don't get it.
I remember the Kardashian curse. That was kind of, was it real? Probably.
What was the Kardashian curse?
Every man or every black man that dated them were affected negatively in some form or fashion just by dating them.
That's most black men that date, most celebrity black men that date out of their race. They're always negatively impacted by the person that they're dating.
True, more
except
or less.
for Ice-T.
Of course, because Ice-T is not an idiot. But you're right.
Just about every black man who has dated outside of his race has been it has been negatively impacted by their non-black significant other. One would wonder why they keep doing it, but that's a conversation for another day.
I mean, some black men just don't like black women. I can't understand it because I don't know what.
We remind them too much of their mothers.
Yeah, I don't have those problems. Sorry. Like, That sound like mommy issues, but
it's something about a black woman holding a black man accountable that kind of like ticks him off because it's too similar to his black mother complaining about all the things that he was supposed to do and didn't do.
it's not really holding them accountable. It's basically what their relationship with their mother was. If it was a negative experience with their mother, they're gonna react to other black women differently. If that makes any sense.
But who's to say what's negative and not? Like,
no, if they don't get nurtured or treated the way they're supposed to as a child and stuff like that, and then they grow up to be a piece of crap to other women, that mother failed, I think.
Yeah, but that's extreme. It could just be the fact that you were a bad student in school because you wasn't paying attention and your mother constantly was telling you how you needed to pay attention in school or you was never going to be anything. And then you internalize that to where now you're in community with black women who also are unpleased and unimpressed by your mediocrity, that they hold you accountable to say, did you not say you wanted more? Do you not want to do more? And then that reminds them of how their mother used to say the same thing to them, and now they feel like, oh, black women don't know how to be there. Because that's one thing that I constantly hear all the time, and that was a part of, being chronically online, is hearing the gripes of black men on like a infinite, never-ending loop about how they feel. All right, and let me not be cynical about this. Let me be for real. Hold on. I'm gonna be serious. Give me a minute.
I got you.
When it comes to black men airing their grievances with black women and how they want to pedestalize other women, I think they do it in a very disingenuous manner.
It's because their mother wasn't really shit, basically.
I don't know if it's always that.
In most cases, it definitely is. It definitely is. It's because it's either their mothers coddled them or their mothers neglected them, and they didn't have that. They didn't have that foundation. Like, how can I put it? I hate using this term. They didn't have that male figure to really give them more of a structure that goes along with the nurturing that a mother is supposed to do for their son, basically. If that makes any sense.
So explain.
Explain what part?
The male figure part. Because the only thing that I see the male figure being in the rearing of a child is technically supposed to be like the authoritarian. The person who enforces the rules. But your mother was enforcing the rules. When your mother told you, no, you can't be outside all hours of the night with your friends. When she told you you need to be studying, you need to do your homework, why the teacher keep calling me about you cutting class, why you not, showing up, why you constantly, like when mothers get all of those negative, I guess, reports from school, are they not being authoritarian when they tell you you can't be outside, you can't do this, you can't do that?
Yeah, in most cases, yes. But
so then what is the difference between your mother telling you to do it and your father telling you?
Again, so there's, how can I put it?
How can I put this shit? Damn, that is a good question.
Okay, like I said, there's some mothers who do coddle their boys, basically. In some cases, you're gonna need a male figure to counteract that, because if a mother coddles their boy, they're not gonna know what's right or wrong. They're gonna be spoiled, basically. You're gonna need somebody to set boundaries for them if the mother is incapable of doing that. That's why they need like a specific male figure there to let them know, like, what you're doing is wrong, basically. And some boys don't really have that. So
like it's not just some parents would enable their kids' bad habits without letting them know where the line is, basically. Mother or father, basically, you know? If that makes sense. Because I don't want to just single. I just want to single out mothers only and stuff like that. You know.
Well, no, it has to be single. It has to be mothers singled out because that's the whole argument. The argument is where do these men get these ideas and feelings about women from? And if it's going to be stemmed from their mother and how the mother raised them, then it has to be singled out.
Yeah, because the mom. You're right. Because a boy's mother's their first love, basically. In a sense, same as a woman's first love would be their father, basically. And then like it's like what my aunt tells me. It's like a woman's relationship with their father determines the type of men that the type of men that they appeal to, or that appeals to them. If that makes any sense.
It can't make sense because most fathers spoil their daughters.
But they also teach. They spoil their daughters, but they also show them. They show them the image of what a man is to them.
That's not true.
Say that again.
That's not true.
What is it?
Most fathers are the complete opposites to their daughters that they are to the rest of the world. Most fathers are not. The only thing that fathers are really like harping on when it comes to like their daughters would be what's the word? Hyperprotective of their chastity. Like, oh, you got a skirt on, you got a dress on, don't be hanging out with a whole bunch of boys. You're a little girl, don't do that. Like that's the breadth of what a lot of fathers do with their little girls. But as it pertains to how a girl is supposed to be treated,
well, a father's supposed
her father is going to spoil her, is gonna be wrapped around her fingers, gonna do everything
of course
that she wants him to do. If she needs money, he's gonna give it. If she needs something, he's gonna bend over backwards to do it. Like it's not what. Like, I feel like the things that men of this generation tend to want to complain about in women, they're calling it fatherless behavior.
It's stupid.
Your father would tell you, don't date nobody broke. Don't date a man who can't pay you on the first date. Don't mess with a man who's talking about 50-50. Like, your father would tell you that these are the things that do not make a man a man. Avoid them at all costs.
I agree with that 100%.
So it's not that.
I mean, it's the same. It's the same for men and their mothers.
How?
Again, like it's almost the same thing, like you said, with daughters will have their father wrapped around their fingers. Same thing for men, but there's also like some active mothers, like they make sure they tell their sons how they're supposed to treat a woman, basically. You know, like making sure. Like I know there's certain cases where some mothers take their sons out on a little date, basically, and then they show them. They basically show them.
What?
Yeah, it's a real thing.
What?
Yeah, not a. That's not. It sounds crazy how I said it though. But they basically teach their sons how to treat women. Basically, that's what I'm saying. The father always. The father also has a role in that, but the mother has a pivotal role in that as well. You know, if that makes sense.
It don't. I'm lost.
Damn. I sound crazy right now.
Well, make it make sense.
All right. It's almost the same thing you said about daughters and their fathers. It's the same thing with mothers and their sons. Like, remember when I was saying that a son's first love is their mother, and then a daughter's first love is their father? It's almost the same thing. It's like however like.
But I don't agree with that, because I don't agree that mothers are teaching their sons how they're supposed to treat women. If anything, So, all right. So you mentioned mothers who coddle their sons.
Yeah.
That's not teaching them how to treat a woman.
I don't know. That's enabling.
No. I'm just saying that was the example that you used. That is mothers teaching their sons how they're supposed to be treated. That's why there are so many men
they're enabling.
who use that argument of, well, I saw my mother work 3 jobs and then still came home and cooked
you're right.
and made me, peanut butter and jelly and cut it in a star and da-da-da-da. And that's why they expect women to do the same exact thing.
Okay, now you got, now I get it now. Okay. Yeah, that's enabling negative habits. What I'm saying is, like, a mother would teach their sons like specific structure and like how to treat other women, basically, not enabling all the negative habits. Like they nip that in the bud. Like if they see their sons doing something like they shouldn't be doing, basically. Like there's certain mothers that don't coddle them. They check like their negative habits, basically saying like, yo, you shouldn't be doing this. Like no woman's gonna look at you if you have messed up nails or if you have terrible manners, if you don't treat them right and stuff like that. That's what I mean, basically.
Yeah, but that doesn't. But
it's not that's not coddling. That's basically.
But that's basically now you're changing the argument. The whole conversation was surrounded about how men who have issues with women at their big grown ages, it comes from their mothers. And you made the argument of there are men who had bad experiences with their mother. No, I made the argument that there are men who have bad experiences with their mothers, and that's why they have the issues that they have with women. You brought up the coddling, but now you're kind of like walking it back. So I'm not really walking it back. I'm saying I'm just saying like there's 3 different scenarios. Like okay.
There's neglectful mothers who basically don't teach their kids anything, and there's mothers who coddle and spoil the hell out of their children, and they turn out to be rotten, basically. And then there's like a middle, basically, where a mother's heavily involved in their kid and their son's growth, basically. But
then all 3 of those mothers end up having sons who have issues with women.
There's one that has an actual success rate. It's the 3rd one I mentioned. That's what I'm saying.
Which one was that one again?
The mother that teaches their son valuable lessons that help in their growth, basically. Like that's. Like those type of men don't really act like these other dudes out here,
See, I don't think that has anything to do with the man. I think that with the mother, I feel like that has to do with the man. I feel like.
I mean, it has a lot to do with the mom too, or the father too, who could also be an enabler or non-existent,
I don't know. I just think that there's something to be said about men who them and their siblings got different last names, but yet you out here shaming single mothers. Like I just don't.
Trust me, as a son of a single mother, that shit's stupid as hell. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but like I seen it with my friends, like my homies, like they had like neglectful mothers and stuff like that, and they have those similar sentiments and stuff like that about women and single moms.
Are they single?
Huh? Yeah, a couple of them are single. Yeah. But then like that's where I come in and tell them like, yo, like you gotta stop messing with these toxic ass women, and it's due to how your mom raised you and what you've been around, basically. Cause like I got friends' some of my friends' moms, they had like they grew up in an environment that wasn't healthy at all, basically. Like
the mother didn't?
No, my friends. Oh. Like the mother never grew up. They basically went around, dated other men, popped more kids and stuff like that. Well, that's
what I'm saying. Like men who their moms end up having siblings and half siblings, but yet now you want to sit here and talk about women are whores and this and that. It's like, go call your mother a whore. Like go tell your mother shit. Like go call your mother a whore. Don't tell me about my chastity or lack thereof if you not going to sit down and have that conversation with the woman who birthed you out her own cooch. Don't tell me nothing. I don't want to hear it. Save that for your mother.
Nah, you're right.
To me, it just doesn't make any sense for men to have come from a situation to where if you don't know how to have that empathy for your own mother, or if you can have that empathy for your own mother, but you don't know how to extend that empathy to somebody else, that is very strange. That's strange.
No, you're right. You're right.
And I just don't seem to understand. Like, granted, I know there's only one extent. There's only one, I guess, excuse that I give, and those are the boys / men that are born to women who do drugs. That's the only excuse for any of that behavior that I tend to give. Because there is no way as a child I could see somebody understanding why your mother would choose a substance over you. That's the only excuse. Is if you had a mother that was addicted to any type of drug, alcohol, or even addicted to being in relationships with strange men or whatever the case may be, any mother who suffered addiction, a child of a mother who suffered addiction, that's the only pass that I will ever give. Other than that, I'm not trying to hear nothing you gotta say. Call me crass, call me cold-hearted. Oh, well.
Yeah. No, I get it.
Oh, well. But that's the only pass that I give because I've dealt with 2 dudes whose moms have been on drugs. And, like, they're not the same individuals, but I can see a lot of the same issues that they have with women because it all stems down to, I don't understand how she could have chose to do this other thing and not take care of me. Mm-hmm. So that's the only excuse that I could give. But whether your mother was hard on you, coddled you, was at every game or never came to one, whether she was on the PTA board or never made it to a parent-teacher conference, I'm not trying to hear none of that, especially when you were a grown man in your 30s. Grow the hell up.
I mean,
sit on the couch and talk to the lady.
I mean, the only thing I can say about women in my experience is nuts. I've come to that. I've resigned to that fact.
You're skating on thin ice.
But that's the only thing I can say about women.
Skating on thin ice. Because I will make you stand on it. Define nuts.
No, I'm joking when I say nuts. I'm joking when I say nuts, though. No, I'm joking about that, but like,
cause show me a crazy woman and I can show you the man who drove her there. Cause niggas love to drive you crazy and then get out the car like, how we get here? So don't start with me.
Nah, but the women in my family are nuts, though. I just want to say that.
I mean, but y'all are Latino, so.
Nah, but without them crazy ass women, I wouldn't be the man I am today.
But then that's even another thing too, is that black men will make excuses for a Latina's crazy, but won't make the same excuse for a black woman's crazy because it seems too much like his mother. Because a woman cursing you out in Spanish, you don't know what the hell she's saying half the time, so it don't affect you as much. But if a black woman calls you a shiftless, shasty, dirty ass, you know what? You know exactly what the hell those words mean.
Nah, my response to that word, that's what's up. No, that's just me.
Because you're problematic, but that's a conversation for another day.
Nah, but I get what you mean though. Like, yeah, a lot of black men they got issues with that when it comes to Latinas and black women.
But I don't know what. All right, fine. If you want to say it's because they're exotic, okay, cool. They have black features, but they not black. All right, whatever. I'll give you that.
It's colorism, that Willie Lynch theory nonsense,
Yeah, but Willie Lynch didn't have a hold on us in the 60s, 70s, and in the 80s.
Oh no, I still think it's going on low key.
No. I'm just saying, 60s, 70s, and 80s, black men had love, respect, honor, and all of those things for black women. Dark-skinned black women, light-skinned, brown-skinned, every shade.
Yeah.
It wasn't until the 90s where all of a sudden dark skinned women is aggressive and they this and they that, and all of a sudden everybody want a foreign, everybody want a red bone, yellow bone. Like, again, what was the shift?
Reagan era.
Maybe this is why I need to know history and stuff. Because I mean,
and it's
what would Reagan have to do with it? I know Reagan had shit to do with crack, but what did Reagan have to do with colorism?
He created the stigma that mainly black women are welfare queens and stuff like that. He started that stigma, and then a lot of how can I put it? He broke up a lot of families, I would say, because of the crack era. A lot of single parent homes is due to what he did during that time period. Because that was an era where it was nothing but there was a lot of people in our generation who were adopted because their parents were fiends or something like that, or teenage pregnancy, and then you got kids trying to raise kids or fail to raise kids. So it's multiple things like that.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely want to do more research into some of these social commentary situations. A lot of these, just because I don't know. Like, I just would love to get to the bottom of things. Like, I just would love to understand, like, how did we get here? 2025 is right around the corner. In the information age, we're in the new millennium. How did we get here? How did we get to a point where every time a black man or a black woman sits in front of a microphone, they only have nothing but negative things to say about each other? And granted, I understand your experiences, but do people not realize that you're having these experiences as inexperienced children?
I also want to say there's some people that just do it for entertainment and shit, and they don't really believe the crap that they say.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah.
That's a problem too. I don't got time to be saying shit that I don't believe. Like, that's...
Yeah, like this Fugazi, like that Fugazi goofball. Prime example.
And I remember the first time I came across his content.
It's feminine for a man to get a haircut by another man. Get the out of here.
I remember coming across his content a couple years ago. Not a lot, maybe like 1 or 2 years.
I'm mad his name is David though. I'm tight about that. But that's another story.
And I just couldn't understand. I gave him credit because he was the first attractive person that I've seen in the red pill space. Because every other red pill content creator was ugly as hell. So he was the first one that looked like something that most women would want to even be with. And so I found it very interesting that somebody of that stature could even feel the way that he feels about women, because I've always considered red pill to be the rhetoric of the rejected. So looking at him, I'm like, you don't look like you've ever been rejected by a woman a day in your life.
You'd be surprised.
So how could you have these hateful, argumentative ass... Because, like, everybody wanted to be mad at Derek Jackson. And I'm like, yeah, but Derek Jackson was getting pussy, clearly. Like, of course he's going to say these things about women because women actually like him. Women don't tell him no.
The thing with them is, how can I put it? It's like they're kind of polar opposites. One panders to men, the other panders extremely to women. So it's like...
Yeah, but I don't think that... See, and this is the... I think this
and
is
they're both
misconception. I don't think that... I don't believe that Derek Jackson pandered to women. Derek Jackson said the things that needed to be said.
Wait, what was it said? Because I'm not. What did he used to say? Because I'm not familiar with his stuff. I didn't really pay attention to him. I just know some nonsense that he got exposed of, but I don't know the full story.
Derek Jackson was one of the first men that used to tell women, stop falling for the things that men say. Look at their actions. Don't just fall victim to a man's promises and the things that he whispers when he wants something from you. Make sure that this man is a man of action and integrity, and he's going to follow through with the things that he says. There's nothing wrong with that.
No, I agree with that.
And the fact that men used to be so up in arms about the things that he was saying, I'm like, so then what did you want? What do you want men to say? And then Red Pill comes out, and then he gets outed for cheating on his wife. And then she puts it out there that he's always been cheating on her. And so all of the men who were followers of Red Pill was like, well, see, we told you Derrick Jackson wasn't this. We told you Derrick Jackson da-da-da-da. And it's just like, yeah, but your Red Pill homies, granted, it took 4 years, but every last one of them got exposed.
Yeah, they mess with single moms, they mess with escorts, all that.
I have a podcast, which I'll probably end up putting on the YouTube soon. I have a podcast with a friend of mine who I remember, well, I don't know if I could call us friends anymore, but a dude I used to know, or a dude I know, because I still know him. The list of men that he used to say, like, oh, you guys think that Red Pill is just fresh and fit. It's Rollo Tomasi. It's, who did he mention? Donovan Sharp.
Losers.
Da-da-da-da-da. This and the third. And at the time that he was mentioning these people, I had no idea who they were. But again, in the last 4 years of being chronically online, I've gotten very familiar with every last one of the men. And when you look at these men's track records, if I knew back then what I know now about those men that he was pedestalizing, about teaching him about women, I would have chewed him the hell up. Granted, the podcast is cantankerous. Well, no, I think I cut out a lot of the arguing. It was like literally 4 hours of me and him on the phone. Like when I say arguing, yelling, not really disrespecting each other, but like a very harsh conversation about why do you feel like this and what results do you think you're gonna get from believing and behaving this way. And he swore blind that these men just knew what they were talking about. And now to make it 4 years later into noticing Rollo Tomasi don't got nobody. He's single. He's old, washed up, single.
With a vasectomy.
Donovan Sharp, married to a single mother, has no children with her of his own, has no legacy of his own, is raising some other man's daughter, bought the titties for his wife so that he could now pretend like she's so bad just to make himself feel better. Fresh and fit, they're in the toilet.
They're being one is being a racist while the other one's trying to leave but can't leave.
There was other people, Andrew Tate, a whole sex trafficker, whole nigga admitted to scamming men out of money, pretending to be cam girls, and these men still stand behind him. That's another thing that I don't understand. Y'all get. Not y'all, but men get so upset with women in saying, oh, we spend all this money and we don't even get no coochie and da-da-da-da-da. Well, you giving all your money to these men and you ain't getting no coochie still? You giving your money to the whatever podcast, the Fresh and Fit podcast. You giving money to that one dude that be telling men to take off their shirts on Instagram Live. You giving money to that bald-headed jailbird white man or whatever, I forgot his name. You giving money to all of these other men and you still not getting coochie. So you rather give your money to a man and not get coochie than give your money to a woman and not get coochie? Is that what y'all telling me? Because that's very strange.
I wanted to double back on the...
That's very strange.
I wanted to double back on the men and their mothers and stuff like that with the mommy issues.
Okay.
The third part I was telling you about how I told you some mothers coddle their boys, some are neglectful, while others are active in
their growth and progression and stuff like that. Like the mothers, those types of mothers, they make sure they instill like core values and basically confidence in their kid, basically, so they could move forward in life, basically.
That's a good word.
Yeah.
Confidence.
Yeah. I mean, again.
That's a great word.
Again, there's a difference between a mother raising a boy.
That's
than a father raising a boy.
A lot of men's problems is having that confidence in themselves.
And I could say, some men do lack self-awareness in certain situations. That's why my boys got a friend like me pointing out how stupid they look sometimes.
But do they listen?
They stubborn. But some do. It takes a while, but you got to break it down to them in the smallest, minute detail for them to understand
it.
So
if women can't tell men what to do and men can't tell men what to do, who can tell men what to do?
Those type of men are lost. They're stuck in their ego, basically. But like I said, self-awareness. Some men don't have that.
Well, you know what? I think that's a really good ending point.
Yeah, like with me, I got an ego, but I got the self-awareness that tells me I do have an ego, and I got to check it sometimes, Some men don't really have that, unfortunately, It sucks that they don't, but it is what it is,
Well, you know what? I think that's a really interesting area to wrap this up for this evening. We've been on live now for an hour and a half, so that's a good first go at it. I'm very, very pleased. YouTube, even though you was giving me issues, but now all of a sudden...
I was joking about the black woman part, though. I was messing with you. My bad.
As of 10:15, the stream was healthy, so hopefully there's no buffering, there's no issues. But yeah, I want to do these Sundays and Wednesdays. I kind of want to have it to where it's going to be some new stuff.
You still recording?
Huh?
You still recording?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm back.
I want to be able to talk about just a lot of different things. I want to bring back my call-in. I used to do where I had a extra phone line on my phone, and people could call in like in certain conversations, like parts of the conversations and stuff like that. I may have to see if I could bring that back. All right. I do want to incorporate like the things that we're talking about, graphics, all of that, because
What about pop culture events and all that stuff like that? You don't think you want to add that in there?
I guess it has to be relevant because I'm really not a pop culture girly. Like I'm not a fan of nobody. I like what I like and I don't what I don't. So like there's certain things that I just would like. I'm never talking about Love Is Blind. I'm never talking. I won't say never. I'm not gonna say never. But there's just certain things that just are not appealing to me, and I think that there's already enough of that.
Yeah.
Like there's already enough podcasts talking about Drake and Kendrick beef. There's already enough people talking about, you know what I mean? Like there's just certain things where it's like everybody don't need to cover the same types of things. I want to cover things that are of a specific, I don't know, I don't want to say demographic because I don't even know who I want my demographic to be. Like there's some people who set out to have their demographic be single, lonely, bitter men who just happen to have expendable income or disposable income, as you call it.
Mm-hmm.
Like all them losers who spent money to get on a boat with Fresh and Fit. Like, do you know if y'all would have spent that money on dating a girl? Do you know you would be married by now? Like $3,500.
Y'all could invest that shit in the stock market. Sorry, YouTube.
Yeah. Stock, schmocks, whatever.
Hey, that could be something else too, but
whatever. I'm talking about for the results that these men be wanting. $3,500. All it takes is pick the right person. You impress the right person. The problem is they be wanting to impress anybody, and that's not how that works.
They want to impress the wrong people that serves their toxic behaviors.
I don't know what that means, but it sounds.
No, I'm saying,
snap.
I'm saying some men and some women, they gravitate toward toxic shit, but they're not aware of it. Because
it's not toxic to them. That's normal. Toxicity and normalcy is a very thin line between toxicity and normalcy for a lot of people, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Tie that into single parenthood. Tie that into impoverished living. Tie that into not having good family structure. Like, there's whole populations of people who can't tell you who all their aunts and uncles are. There's whole populations of people who have never seen a healthy marriage a day in their life. So you can't tell them that they're toxic. It's just not normal.
Yeah. You got a good point there.
So it's like, but I'm talking about men who you know for a fact that this person does not like you. You feel it, you smell it, you taste it, you see it. You know that this person does not like you. And you think that you're going to be able to woo them and win them over and change their mind all because of what? Because of what? Like, I never forget when I was in my mid-20s, and this is where I'm really, really, really going. In my mid-20s, I met this guy in a friend group. And I remember he and I going on a couple of dates. And I'm thinking the dates is going well. I'm thinking that, we getting to know each other. Everything is great. I want to say maybe about the third date, I started noticing, like, he started being weird, being funny. And I'm not the type of person that I'm asking questions. I'm just moving how you move. I match energy. So he starts texting slow, I start texting slow. He stopped texting, I stopped texting. So all of a sudden now, we just friends on Instagram. I would hit him up, like, if I needed a +1 to stuff, and he would pop out, and we were good with just that. And then one day, I think when I started podcasting and stuff, I had come across that podcast. It was these two white girls. The podcast was called People We Used to Fuck, or something we used to fuck. And they started their podcast by interviewing exes of theirs and men that they used to sleep with. And I got the bright idea that one day I messaged him and I was like, why did we stop talking? Like, I we've been on a couple of dates. I thought things were good. Like, what was it that went wrong for you? And he was like, oh no, nothing went wrong. It's just, I noticed around, date 3, 4 or whatever the hell, that, things started feeling serious from you. Like, you were looking like you wanted to, like, pursue something exclusive. But I was still on again and off again with somebody else. And I didn't want to lead you on, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, what do you mean on again, off again? And he's like, yeah, we would be with each other for a couple of months. And then she'll disappear or she'll start, doing blah, blah, blah. And then she'll pop back up. And I literally, at that moment, I was like, so you didn't want to talk. Somebody that you could have been sure about was right there, but you rather play on again, off again with somebody who did not care about you. And at that very moment, I realized men are dumb. And I don't mean dumb like unintelligent. I mean,
not self-aware.
I mean dumb in the sense of, like, men can receive data and they can transmit data, but they can't process data. Like, they can't process the things that are going on. It's like, you can give a man an instruction, you can give a man a task, and he'll do it. He can give someone instruction, he can give someone a task, he could do it. But to figure out the logistics of shit on the inside, nah, you can't. Because to me, that just didn't make sense. And once I grasped that about men, it was all downhill from there. And on that note, I'm going to leave that and say we'll talk to y'all next time.
Peace.
Bye.
That's an interesting story.
Next time.
Yeah, that shit was some bullshit.